First of all, cheer up. Today is a new day. Now hear me. You're one step closer to getting God's promise. But this is something God revealed to me. Waking up is an enemy to the enemy. You waking up is a spiritual weapon. Every day you wake up, watch this, you are carrying out the will of God, which is destroying the enemy's plan. And if we want to go a little bit further, his plan has already been destroyed. It's allowing you to see what God has done before the foundation of the world. So remember this, put this in your tools. You just getting up with the right mindset is an enemy to the enemy. When he sees you stirring around, when you look at Habakkuk chapter 2, 3, and 4, he tells Habakkuk, he says, listen, even though it seems like the promise, it's taken a long time, he says the promise is speaking of the future. And he says it's describing what the end is going to be. He says, but even though it seemed like it's taken a long time, it is not delayed. And then he says, listen, the just shall walk by faith. In other words, we believers walk according to our confidence in God. Sometimes our mind needs to stay on him instead of even the promise, because the promise is going to come. Judah was being judged by the Babylonians because they had turned against their God. And a lot of our families is going through some stuff. Hear me. A lot of our families, a lot of our children are going through some stuff. Keep your hands out of it. They're being judged. But the Lord also told Habakkuk, he says, but I'm going to chastise the Babylonians. I'm going to restore you. But right now I'm using something to get your mind right. People of God, what is in your life that God is using to get your mind right? That is teaching you not to go back to drugs. That is teaching you not to, fall away again. That's teaching you to leave the alcohol alone. That's teaching you to leave that sin alone. It's teaching you to stay at home with your family. What is God using? But it doesn't mean that his promises are still not going to come. Wait on it. Listen, some of our children are incarcerated. Instead of crying, God is sometimes using incarceration to judge the action they were doing. Some of our daughters are out there making wrong decisions. Just keep praying. Keep praying that God has mercy. But the promise that he made about your child is still going to come forth. The promise that he made about your marriage is still going to come forth. The promise that he made about the fellowship is still going to come forth. And even though it looks like it's being delayed, it's not being delayed. Remember, God's will always be done, but the promise is, or the question is, will it be done through you? Waking up is an enemy to the enemy. All right, love y'all.